In the heart of London, under the lights of Wembley Stadium, history is preparing to rewrite itself. This isn't just another heavyweight title fight. It's the rematch that could define a generation. Oleksandr Usyk, the undefeated technician who outclassed Anthony Joshua and twice outdueled Tyson Fury, returns not just as a champion, but as a puzzle no one has solved. Across from him stands Daniel Dubois, the power-punching force who was dismissed, doubted, and nearly broken, only to claw his way back into the spotlight with devastating knockouts and a hunger that now borders on vengeance. Their first fight? It didn't end in closure. It ended in controversy. A body shot in the 5th round that dropped Usyk ruled low. A storm of protests from Dubois' corner, accusations of acting, claims of cheating. Usyk went on to win by knockout, but for many, the ending felt incomplete. Dubois insists he was robbed. Usyk insists he was fouled. And now they settle it, not just for titles, not just for legacy, but for pride, justice, and ultimate supremacy. This is more than a rematch. It's redemption or repeat. Dubois says he's found the blueprint to beat Usyk. Usyk says he's seen it all before, but this time, there are no second chances. 4 belts are on the line, the undisputed crown is at stake, and one mistake could end everything. Stay with us, because we're about to break down the clash, the controversy, and why this fight could shake the heavyweight division to its core. August 26th, 2023, what should have been another masterclass from Oleksandr Usyk turned into one of the most debated nights in recent heavyweight memory. And then, 4 rounds later, Usyk dropped Dubois and closed the show with a TKO. But did he win the fight or just escape defeat? That's the question hanging over this rematch like a storm cloud. This isn't just about who's better, it's about who's right. Was Dubois robbed of history? Or is Usyk just levels above, too slick, too smart, too seasoned? Let's break it down. No fluff, no hype. Just cold facts and sharp analysis. Because when it comes to Usyk versus Dubois too, understanding these two fighters is the key to knowing how this war might unfold. Oleksandr Usyk, the mastermind, the matador, the man who walked into the heavyweight division and outboxed giants. His record, 23 wins, 0 losses, 14 knockouts. But stats don't tell the full story. Usyk is a southpaw technician with arguably the best footwork in the division. He doesn't just move, he flows. His jab isn't powerful, it's precise. His combinations don't knock you out cold, they break you down mentally. Watch any of his fights, from Murat Gassiev in cruiserweight to Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in heavyweight, he doesn't beat you with brute force. He beats you with decisions, milliseconds, angles. But Usyk isn't untouchable. At 38, age is creeping up. The feet are still fast, but are they as fast as they were 2 years ago? He's taken damage in his recent wars. And against a guy like Dubois, who brings pure violence, the question becomes, can Usyk stay perfect for 12 rounds again? Now flip it. Daniel Dubois, younger, bigger, heavier hands, 22 wins, 2 losses, 21 knockouts. That's a 95% KO rate. Dubois is a classic wrecking machine. Orthodox stance, jab like a battering ram. And when he touches you clean, it's game over. Just ask Kevin Lerena, just ask Gerald Miller, just ask Anthony Joshua, who got stopped by Dubois in a firefight that shocked Wembley. But Dubois is more than power now. That was the knock on him in the past. Too stiff, too one-dimensional, mentally breakable. Remember the Joe Joyce fight? He took a knee. People called him a quitter. That label stuck like glue. But since then, he's evolved. He's fought through wars. He's stopped high-level opposition. He's learned to move, to time, to bide his moment, and then detonate. Still, the question lingers. Can he handle someone like Usyk? A fighter who won't stand and trade. A fighter who makes you miss, makes you think, makes you doubt. Stylistically, it's a classic chessboard versus chainsaw matchup. Usyk wants to drown Dubois in data, angles, and movement. Dubois wants to land one clean shot and turn the lights off. The longer it goes, the more it favors Usyk. The faster Dubois starts, the more dangerous it becomes. One has experience, the other has explosiveness. One is trying to stay unbeaten, the other is trying to prove he was never truly beaten. This is brains versus brawn, but don't get it twisted. Both of these guys can crack, and both know they don't just need to win, they need to make a statement. Momentum. It's everything in boxing, and going into this rematch, both men are riding in with serious heat, but how they got here tells you a lot about where this fight might go. Let's start with Oleksandr Usyk. Since the Dubois controversy, Usyk didn't just sit back and protect his throne, he defended it like a lion. First, he stepped into the ring with Tyson Fury, not once, but twice in 2024. That's back-to-back wins against the biggest, trickiest, most unorthodox heavyweight of this era. In those fights, Usyk didn't just outbox Fury. He broke the myth of Fury's invincibility. He withstood the size, the weight, the awkwardness, and still imposed his rhythm. It was the kind of performance that reminded the world. Usyk isn't just a heavyweight, he's the heavyweight. His stock didn't just rise, it exploded. And yet, even with those wins, Usyk still hears it, the whispers about that body shot, the lingering doubt, the one opponent people say almost cracked him. That's why this fight isn't just about keeping his belts. It's about erasing a blemish that's been hanging over him since 2023. Now look at Daniel Dubois. After that loss to Usyk, most of the boxing world counted him out. Some thought he'd fade into contender territory, never to sniff championship gold again. But Dubois had other plans. He didn't just come back, he came back mean. First, he stopped Jarrell Miller, handing him the first real beatdown of his career. Then he outslugged and overwhelmed Filip Hrgovic, a guy many viewed as a dark horse threat in the division. And the big one? Anthony Joshua. In one of the most shocking moments of 2025, Dubois walked into Wembley and did what many thought he couldn't. He stopped AJ in his own backyard. Clean, clinical, cold. That win didn't just revive his career, it rebranded him. No longer the kid who took a knee. Now, he's the monster with momentum. And make no mistake, he's not just coming into this fight hungry, he's coming in confident, with new polish, new composure, and the same detonation power that put 21 men on the canvas. So now we've got Usyk, the master technician coming off wins over the lineal king, and Dubois, the reborn puncher riding a knockout streak through the top tier of the division. Both men have evolved, both men have momentum, but on fight night, only one gets to carry it forward, and the other, he gets left behind. Let's get surgical, because beneath the drama and controversy, Usyk vs. Dubois 2 is a pure chess match layered with violence, and the tactical differences couldn't be clearer. Start with Oleksandr Usyk. He's not just a mover, he's a rhythm breaker. Everything about his style is built to frustrate and fatigue power punchers like Dubois. He'll circle, feint, pause, then explode in with quick, clean combinations before sliding out of range. Southpaw stance, that just adds another layer of hell. His lead hand disrupts timing, and his pivot work makes it almost impossible to trap him against the ropes. And watch his feet. He never crosses them, never loses balance. It's pure economy of motion. Expect Usyk to do what he does best. Keep Dubois guessing, keep him reaching, and drain that gas tank. He'll target the body early, not to hurt, but to sap. He'll work behind the jab, not to score, but to blind. And when Dubois starts to load up, Usyk will be gone before the punch even leaves his shoulder. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's chess with brass knuckles. Daniel Dubois only needs one moment. And if you think he can't land it, remember round 5 of their first fight. That shot hurt Usyk badly. Dubois knows it. Usyk knows it. And this time, Dubois isn't just aiming for the same shot, he's coming in with new tricks. Since teaming up with his new camp, Dubois has developed a tighter guard, sharper jab, and more composure under pressure. He's no longer chasing knockouts, he's setting traps. Expect Dubois to focus on cutting the ring early. He'll look to pin Usyk along the ropes, invest in the body to slow those legs, and use that long jab to occupy Usyk's lead hand. And when the moment comes, the right hand and left hook are still sledgehammers. If one lands clean, it might be enough. The key question, can Dubois land hard before Usyk takes over late? Dubois has a small window in the early rounds, rounds 1 through 5, to make something happen. If he gets too aggressive and overcommits, Usyk will turn it into a masterclass. But if Dubois stays patient, doesn't chase, and lands to the body consistently, that opens a lane for something massive. On the other side, Usyk's path to victory is about control. He needs to win the footwork battle, keep the pace high, and stay off the ropes. He'll need to test Dubois' discipline. The moment Dubois shows fatigue or frustration, Usyk will ramp up the pressure and drown him in volume. And then there's the X factor, the referee. After the chaos of the last fight, the body shot conversation is front and center. Where's the borderline? How strict will the officiating be? Dubois will be going to the midsection. Usyk knows it, and you better believe both corners will have that ref on a microscope. In short, this fight is a game of margins. One man looks to paint a masterpiece, the other wants to burn the canvas down with one swing. And if either one slips for even a second, it could be over. Calculated violence is coming. The only question is, whose calculation wins? Now we get to the part every fan loves, and every fighter hates. Predictions, stakes, legacy. Oleksandr Usyk doesn't need this fight. He's already carved out a historic resume. Undisputed at cruiserweight, undefeated at heavyweight, back-to-back wins over Tyson Fury. Technically, he could have walked away after unifying the division, but that's not how Usyk operates. For him, this isn't about staying champion. It's about silencing every single doubt, every whisper that Daniel Dubois had him in that first fight. He wants a clean win, no controversy, no debate, just dominance. But here's the truth. If Usyk wins again and wins clearly, we're talking about one of the greatest heavyweights of the modern era. Period. Legacy cemented, no questions asked. The kind of name that lives on in highlight reels, Hall of Fame speeches, and textbooks of technical boxing. This isn't just about belts, it's about unfinished business. And only one man leaves with his name etched into the future of boxing. Will Usyk shut down the doubters once and for all? Or will Dubois shock the world and take what he believes was always his? Drop your predictions in the comments. Decision or knockout, Usyk or Dubois, let's hear it. And if you love love real boxing breakdowns with no fluff, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this is just the beginning. War is coming. Don't blink.